So this video is going to be a little different. I've usually done unboxing videos for each entry in the Try series thus far. However, this time, I had the fortunate good luck to be able to see this entry in the theaters. As such, I'm going to try to recount the movie as well as I can, and maybe even try a little bit of a review on it. Just as a fair warning, this video contains spoilers. I'll try my best to save the major spoilers till the end of the video, but we'll see what happens. First, I will start with the experience of the theater itself. It was inside a mall outside of a really big city. It seemed like this mall was pretty much closing, and that the movie theater was pretty much the one thing that was still open. Not only was it a surreal experience to walk through a big mall like this, mostly closed, but it was also weird just to walk into a movie theater and say, Digimon, on at 7:30. I walked into the theater. I believe it was number 13 or 14 offhand. Whatever, I don't have perfect recall. It was about 20 minutes before the movie was about to start. As I open the door, I see this big pink screen with a little biopic of Sora, followed by Digimon. I then turn the corner. No one is here yet. I didn't think I was really that early. Another biopic came up. I never knew that Gabumon was wearing a Garurumon pelt. That's pretty interesting. I knew he was a lizard like Agumon, but had no idea about that. It was kind of a long drive to get there, so I kind of dozed off for a few minutes. When I came to, there were ads for Crunchyroll, as well as other Japanese-related products. Still, I was the only one in that theater, so I put my hands behind my head and my feet up on the chair ahead of me. The movie started with the events of Coexistence being summarized with the subbed version. I was feeling kind of gypped. I even looked at my ticket. I thought I was at the dub. Why is this the sub? Oh well, I came here to watch it. Let's just go for it. After that, it showed the Digivolving sequence for Agumon. Don't tell me that this thing's just one big ad that's going to last for 2 hours. The runtime on the ticket said 2 hours, that's where I'm getting that number from. The screen then went black for a little bit. I was worried that was it. But then, the movie started. I kinda wish they could have dimmed the lights a little though, but hey, I had the movie theater to myself, I'm not complaining. Before I start recalling the events of the movie, I figure this is the point where I'll do a miniature review of sorts. That way, you won't have to worry about spoilers. After this though, that's when the spoilers will begin. I can say without a doubt, this was the epic conclusion I was looking forward to. I like the idea that in this one, it seems like they went all in almost. The other entries of the Digimon Try series, for me it was more of a psychological struggle. Here it was more of a physical struggle, so there's more of an emphasis on action rather than emotion. Now don't get me wrong, I do really like the emotional pieces, but I was kind of missing some epic clashes. True, there were a little bit here and there, but I feel like this movie focused more on the epic clash than most of the other ones did. Another thing I liked about this entry was the musical score. It seemed like in the other entries there was only 3 different pieces. There was the slow, heartfelt piece for emotional speeches.
These days it feels like I see more, but I understand less.
There was the foreboding gloom piece. And there was the epic clash piece. Here, there was a lot more different variations. True, there were more epic clash pieces, but it wasn't the one. There was like 3 or maybe 4 different ones. Probably the last thing to mention is the ending. Don't worry, this is not spoilers. It's very generic, the message I'm giving here. So it's been said that there's a new Digimon Try series in the works. I'm not sure what it's going to be called, but I think it's going to jump ahead a few years. Ty's going to be like in his 20s, something like that. So obviously the ending of this one ends on a cliffhanger, but I feel it's really well done. Much like the ending of Star Wars Episode 4, the idea that a major victory was fought, but there is still the possibility that evil could rise again, that is how you handle a good cliffhanger like that. This is probably the last thing I will mention before I get into spoiler territory. For me, it seemed like Agumon only had food on his mind in coexistence.
Let's go get something to eat.
Huh? Funny, Agumon.
You're not hungry?
No, but I do feel kind of empty in here.
Your heart is hungry?
True, that came across in this film as well, but it's more downplayed here. It was as if they went back to the roots of the character. For me, I always thought of him as kind of a simple-minded character, but yet he could see things in a way that no other smart person could. It's hard to explain, but if you ever see the moments in Season 2 where Agumon is talking with Black War Greymon, I think you'll understand what I mean.
What if I'm not capable of being a friend? That would prove once and for all if I have a heart or not.
Of course you're capable. Everybody's capable of being someone's friend.
But what if...
What if? Always with the what ifs. What if my aunt had a mustache? She'd be my uncle.
So, for those of you who don't want spoilers, I would suggest you end the video here until you watch the movie later on. See how well I recounted it. For those of you who don't want the spoilers, thank you for watching my little video. For those who want to continue, this is how I remember watching Future in the theaters. The movie begins where it ended last time. The vaguely Arizona place. It is discovered that they are actually in the digital world. A portal opens up, allowing them to go back into the real world. There is a mixed feeling about leaving Tai behind, but they proceed onward. Sora even asks Matt if he would like to stay and search for him, but still, they press on. Back in the real world, it is as if the whole place has been blanketed by pure darkness. There is an ordinance. No one is allowed outside until further notice, excluding the military. The Digidestined go back to Izzy's office to see what they can do about Odinimon. You know, the mixture between nightmare fuel and erotic fan fiction? Or at least that's what I call her. Kari, from all the stress, feeling guilty about creating this beast in the first place, comes down rather ill. TK keeps an eye on her until she can get better. At this time, Odinimon seems to be controlled by Kenichi Joji. This is later revealed to be King Drazel. I like the idea that he's more of a spoiled brat kind of king than like the old Chinese warlord that's been planning everything so perfectly. In fact, the portrayal of him kind of makes me think a little bit of the Joker. We find that Odinimon has the ability to summon a type of rain that can disintegrate anything it touches. While on a rampage throughout the entire world, Odinimon arrives to where the Digidestined are. Even at their mega forms, Odinimon is still too much for them. After the defeat, Heckmon appears. I had to think to myself, have they actually seen him yet? Oh, they seem surprised. They must not have. Izzy then pulls up his laptop to identify him. It would appear that his mega form is Chessmon. I was just about as shocked as the Digidestined were when I saw that. Though enraged to hear that he was the one that killed Tai and also tried to kill Meikumon, they have a hard time listening to his message. It would appear that the real world and the digital world are going to converge. There is one last resort, though, a reset of the real world. I was kind of thinking to myself, wow, that's kind of a fun idea. Have the Digidestined forget about the Digimon, and then have to form the relationship all over again. However, if they did that, there would have to be at least one more movie. Either that or this one would just be really long. Anyways, we find Tai is still alive. Yeah, big shock there. If you look at the movie poster, he's clearly right on the cover there. But he is also with Mr. Nishijima, although he's in really bad shape. Boy, it's weird not only to see blood in Digimon, but to see someone so brutally beat up as he was. The lights slowly turn on to reveal that they're in some sort of chamber Here, we find the Season 2 cast in suspended animation. I'm thinking to myself, oh man, the Season 1 cast and the Season 2 cast have to unite to take down Digimon? This is going to be one epic clash. Dark Jedi shows up. It would appear the base is set to self-destruct. Don't worry, we planned ahead. There are pods for you to escape. But wait, there was only just one. Oh no, someone has to stay behind. That's my impression of Dark Jedi. I'm not quitting my day job. Well, Tai has to be the one to leave, obviously. I don't think Mr. Nishijima has much more time left. Jedi disappears. Tai and Mr. Nishijima are both trying to stop this self-destruct sequence. Mr. Nishijima comes up with a way to be able to put an end to it. He says the controls are in the extra control pod. We find it's a trick, and a brilliant one at that, to get Tai to leave. With his dying breath, he speaks to Tai over the intercom. His dying wish is to make the world a brighter place, keep looking forward to have a bright future. In the real world, there is a small truce between Hackmon and the Digidestined. They plan to get Digimon out to the ocean where she can't cause as much damage. They also plan to attack one more time, this time with the help of the military. We then go to Kari and TK. Kari is feeling a lot better now. And also at this point there's a bit of an out-of-place joke, or at least in my opinion. TK helps pick her up out of the bed when Patamon starts freaking out. What? He didn't touch her. I didn't see anything. If this is a joke on the Me Too movement, it's timely, but boy, is it ever in poor taste. Anyways, Kari feels useless and tries to find the others with TK, but just as they leave, a portal opens up revealing a bunch of Vilemon. Patamon digivolves to Magna Angemon to stop them. They appear to overwhelm him. I'm calling this a minor plot hole. Towards the end of Season 1, didn't Magna Angemon use the Gate of Destiny to win a very similar fight? However, for good measure, King Drazel sends out Devimon, which for me just put a really big smile on my face. However, this Devimon is far more powerful than the original, which goes without saying. I mean, Angemon in the champion form took out Devimon, even if he did almost kill himself. During this fight, Kari blacks out. She is transported into another world. Oh my gosh, it's Wizardmon! If they got the original voice actor to come back... he doesn't speak. Oh well, the sentiment is still there at least. Well, in this world of emptiness, Gatomon speaks to Kari. She tells her, all the light you need is inside Meikumon. Kari starts coming back, and if I remember, I think Magna Angemon defeated the enemy? To be honest, I'm surprised I remember this much. Anyways, the fight continues again with Digimon. More successful than the last time. I remember there was a bit of a sound glitch here. While where Gururumon was attacking, you hear, Digivolve 2? Just out of nowhere. Izzy is told Kari's information. It is discovered that Meikumon has all the memories of all the Digidestined's Digimon. This explains how she was able to remember Meiko and Digivolve so quickly. However, her folder is encrypted. I'm thinking to myself, come on Izzy, you're in IT, just use some Kali Linux to crack that password. However, there wasn't enough time. Before this, the countdown for the real-world reboot had begun. Meiko knows the password. The very first words she taught Meikumon.
Dun dun. Dun dun.
I believe it's Japanese for thank you, specifically the region where Meiko comes from. It's been hinted that she comes from the south.
Hi.
I wasn't trying to spy on you or anything, but I heard you talking. Was that a southern accent you were using? I've never heard you talk like that before. It's kind of cool. Sorry.
Well, aren't you a peach, hon? It's a southern way of saying you're a nice guy.
The folder is unencrypted, and all the memories come flooding back to the Digimon. This frees Gatomon. However, Odinimon still exists, and King Drazel brings her back to life. At this time, Tai comes back for a final battle. Agumon and Gabumon then form together to create Omnimon. All the energy from all the other Digimon are passed to Omnimon to create an even more powerful Digimon. With this power, Odinimon is then sliced right down the middle. Before passing, Meikumon appears to Meiko to say goodbye. Meikumon doesn't want any tears, but a nice, simple goodbye, followed by her first words, Dan Dan. Some time passes. Meiko is moved back to where she came from originally. The Digidestined get back together one last time and call her, wishing her well. Tai was the one in charge of doing this, but is unable to find the words, so Agumon speaks on his behalf. Now that's the Agumon I like. He may be simple, but he has a way of getting right to the point. The movie ends with a little bit of a cliffhanger. King Drazel says he may find another way to rid the humans, but for now, he must build up his power. The credits roll, and the movie is giving a standing ovation. For me, I would have rather went with a different ending. I would have liked Meikumon to live, or if nothing else, maybe Meiko see her reborn as a Digi-Egg, free from the virus, and then end with both of them with a really big tearful hug or something like that. I also wanted to see some of the Season 2 cast. I know Season 2 really wasn't that well liked compared to Season 1, obviously, but I was hoping for them to help in the final battle, if nothing else. Oh well. Maybe they'll show up in the next story arc. I would have been worried that the ending of this one would have gone on deaf ears, but it was announced that there'd be a new movie series before I actually saw this, so yeah, that works out pretty well. When the credits were done, I walked out. However, as I was walking out the door, I noticed that there was another little special feature that was playing right after the film. I have a feeling that this little feature is probably going to show up on the DVD and Blu-ray copy. Or at least I hope so. Hope I didn't miss anything too important there. Well, that ends my little recount of this experience. I figure, since I already did my afterthoughts before the spoilers came in, I will just end on this one thought. I really think this was a really good entry, and to be honest, it's probably my favorite. But it probably wouldn't have been so amazing if I didn't watch all the other entries before this. So, until next time, keep having fun.